So, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League was such a failure that they decided to put it on Steam and Epic Games. Well, the Ultra, the Deluxe Edition, $100, and they had it on sale for like five. And then a couple weeks ago, I think it was for like Thanksgiving, they had it for like $3.99 or something like that. It's a bad game. No one likes it, but following Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League end of content announcement, Warner Brother Games cuts 99 employees from Montreal support studio. This is what happens when you don't make a good game. You end up having to lay people off because you can't afford to pay people. But no, let's just keep making subpar products. Clearly it's going well. And I'm sure those 99 people are just so happy to have their jobs taken away from them. Maybe stop worrying so much about fitting agenda driven crap into your games and just make a good game. And then maybe you won't need to lay off 99 people. I know, crazy thought, right? Also, bounding into comics, you and that part place. Who is Deathstroke? Who's Deathstroke? I know who Deathstroke is, but who's Deathstroke? Like your articles aren't a whole lot, like a couple paragraphs total. It's just a bunch of ads and graphic, pictures that you guys are adding in. Surely the takes one page. Surely you can go through and make sure everything's spelled correctly. Come on. Come on. And what can only be described as the historically unpopular game, once giving one last middle finger to the world before its demise, the recent decision by Warner Brothers Games to sunset Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League has led to a round of layoffs at their Montreal support studio. As previously reported, December 9th saw developer Rocksteady Studios inform players that that following the upcoming conclusion of the game's Season 4 and addition of Deathstroke to the titular team's playable roster, they would no longer be producing any new Suicide Squad content. I know, all 12 people are completely just destroyed by that news. With Deathstroke joining the roster, the Suicide Squad's crusade against Brainiac is drawing to an end. With season 4 will wrap up with episode 8, which is scheduled to release in January 2025, and that will serve as the last seasonal episode for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Again, who is Deathstroke? Who's Deathstroke? Stands victorious, so Jason Isaacs, huh? Well, that's wasted potential. Jason Isaacs, come on, that dude is just amazing. And he had to be in a crappy game like this. That sucks. But seriously, who's Deathstroke? Who's Deathstroke? Can someone please inform me who Deathstroke is? Because it's you see Deathstroke right there, but like up here, Deathstroke, and then again Deathstroke. What about here? Deathstroke. Why is it all the captions here are saying Deathstroke? You're tearing me apart, bounding into comics. Let us hope that the Suicide Squad will always be around to save the day. Far from just an end to the game's live service lifespan, this announcement has also brought a round of job cuts at WB Montreal Games Montreal, whose team had provided various development and support work to the Arkham video game universe's last century. At first reported by Stephanie Dupuis, or whatever, for French language Canadian news outlet Radio Canada. On the same day as Rocksteady's broke the news above news, WB Games undertook the elimination of 99 jobs from the studio, the support studio, who readers may best remember as the developers behind the previous and similarly Batman-themed live service title Gotham Knights. Per the outlet sources, these layoffs primarily affected those employees working for Keyword, a WB Games subcontractor responsible for quality assurance of video games. Staff were invited to a video conference meeting on Monday morning, during which WB Games Montreal announced that it did not have enough projects to provide them with work, explained the outlet and relaying information provided to them by the unidentified employee. We were offered two choices: talk to a counselor to find a new job, or put our name on a callback list for when there is work for us. But this second option could only happen in 2026. As our total staff consists, or at least of around 240 individuals, this move represents the reduction of roughly a third of the subcontractor's workforce. The Senate notes that affected employees will have to leave offices in 8 weeks. Interestingly, it appears that twin decisions to shutter Suicide Squad and cut WB Games Montreal teams were recently made, as per report. As the team's most recent biannual meeting at the end of summer, there is no indication of possible job cuts. On the contrary, they recounted from a source, the studio emphasized that there would be enough projects to work on. Why they always lying? And in confirming the Suicide Squad's failure did in fact play a part in these layoffs. Who would have thought? One now former employee specifically cited the fact that the game was in development for so long and launched with a lot of problems as a reason for his. It's more than that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm the person's right, but yeah, there were a lot more reasons for that. There were a lot more reasons, and it got to the point where they were selling a deluxe edition, which was $100. They were selling it for $5, hoping that people would pay for the game. Players were disappointed. Yeah, to say the least. WB Games could have pulled the plug on the game, or should have pulled the plug on the game. The final orange and black tinted chapter of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League story is currently slated to drop on January 14th, 2025. It seems like the studio did kill the Justice League, along with any prospective franchise potential for the foreseeable future. Well, no surprise there. You hate to see it. Bummer. They can always learn to code. Oh, wait. Where is... There's always one that you always see. It's like... let's see. Will the people losing their livelihoods be the activist nutters whose poor decisions caused the game to crash and burn? Asking for a friend. In a cult, it's the followers who are sacrificed, not the leaders. I'm not seeing them. Bunny with the keyboard. Usually here and on Park Place. And no Bunny with the keyboard. Disappointing. But yeah. Who would have imagined that a game that didn't sell well because of certain things added in and people just not liking the game in general, who would have thought that it would cause get to the point where it didn't make enough money and all that, that one, you'd have to sell it at a 95% discount, and that it would result in 99 employees being laid off. So maybe instead of attacking us, the ones who are reporting it, if you truly care, those 99 people who were just laid off, how about being more upset that these employers, these companies continue to make the same mistakes over and over and over, knowing full well that it's going to cost them in the end. And instead of learning from their mistakes and just making a good game, they just insist on adding the same political bullcrap and the same terrible story writing into the game, just without end. They know it's going to cause a problem in the end, and yet they keep doing it. So instead of being mad at us, the ones who were reporting it and calling it out, those 99 people no longer have a job because this studio didn't make enough to pay them, because they want to fill this game with identity politics and a terrible story. So maybe you should be mad at them. But no, it's our fault that the game failed. Not the people creating the game, not the people who created the game and inserted all that stuff that the players didn't like. No. It's the players. It's always the players, right? So bad that, again, $100 deluxe edition was sold for $5 because it was doing so poorly that they needed to do anything they could to get some money. But it's the gamers, right? People seriously need to stop just these freaking companies and acknowledge that the companies are the problem here, not the ones calling it out. We're not the ones repeating the same mistake over and over. We're not the ones taking $400 million to create a game and then not making back nearly what we spent to make it. We're not the ones forcing identity politics and bad storytelling into everything. Maybe you should be mad at them. But no, you're not. Instead, you're just leave big company alone. So, modern gaming, what do you expect? No one wants to listen, so really, what's the point in the end? What's the point of even bothering to talk about it? They're not going to listen, and the people who keep sucking the big freaking D of these companies don't want to listen as well. So what's the point? What's the point? I hope all of these companies go out of business then, because they deserve it. They freaking deserve it. They don't want to listen, and they want to keep losing money. They don't want to listen to the gamer. That's on them. I hope every single one of them goes out of business. I'm pretty sure that if every gaming company went out of business right now, no one would care. We still have games in our catalogs that we can play. So, companies don't want to listen, and people are still sucking off these companies, and they don't want to listen. So, nothing's going to change. Nothing's ever going to change because no one wants it to change. So, you get what you deserve. You get what you deserve. But that's going to do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.